Okay, we have another comment from our group assembled here in the Esquimalt Municipal Hall. State your name and what's your point?
Carol Witter. I wanted to respond to the first gentleman who spoke that somehow that the people here opposed to a site at Viewfield and even McLaughlin are opposed to sewage treatment and resource recovery, and that's just not the case. I know that there's a huge amount of people in this room that have been pushing for resource recovery and a distributed system. I know myself, I've been doing that since 2006. And I would love to see the CRD take a different approach where they come up with ideas that municipalities would be fighting over to have them in their communities, because that technology exists, that possibility and those potentials exist, and I think it's just a shame that all this money has been spent and this is where we're at. We can do so much better and we need to demand that.
Thank you. So you wanted to make a comment for some time. Introduce yourself and tell us what your opinion is.
Sure. So my name is Greg Hill. I have a different opinion than most people that have talked about yet in this room. And just to be frank, Steve, I think that you cherry-picked the first question from the gentleman who runs the Water Treatment Innovation Company and came in from outside the room and got to ask a question before anybody else. And I think this conversation has been misguided in the sense that it's all leaning towards having to spend hundreds of millions of dollars, if not $1 billion, on a sewage treatment facility that nobody has any idea what it's all about. There is no plan. But we do know it's going to be a public-private partnership, as Jeff mentioned, which reeks of corporate welfare. And the public here, just look how full this room is. That there hasn't been any conversation on the fact that we don't even want a sewage treatment plant, let alone to force the public to pay more property tax on a $1 billion project. So that's the point I wanted to make.
Thank you. Do you think, Jeff Young, and I'll get everyone to kind of weigh in on this, that the Capital Regional District has kind of missed the boat on this, that their communications strategy really has been lacking? I mean, I see no staff members here. We place telephone calls and requests to I think at least 10 members of the core area liquid waste management committee. You're the only one that showed up. I mean, what's going on here? If we're going to listen to the people of the region, don't you think that we should be doing that on a consistent basis?
I always have a slightly different take on public input, I guess, than I guess the modern trend for formalized input. And there is going to be an input process, and I think there will be a lot more information than I can provide for you when that takes place, and I think you'll be able to attend sessions where there will be technical experts who can give you much more background. I felt that it was important to at least use my sort of average board member's knowledge of the plan to explain why we've proceeded as we have.